Canalside Soda is our focus today as we're at their kitchen space where we're making some delicious soda pop. And we're with the Chief Soda Officer, Sean Polden. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, Tim. Thanks for coming by.
No problem. Well, some of our Morning Live viewers might recognize you because you were on the show lots. I guess it's been a couple of years.
It's been about 2 years since I've been on.
But you were on with the Lincoln County Humane Society on our weekly segments where you bring a pet on.
Yeah.
That was like a volunteer gig for you back then?
That was a volunteer gig.
Yeah.
And, you know, as much as I loved it because it was a volunteer gig, you know, other things, you know, come up and... you know, you got to kind of move on from it. You know, it was one of those things that I really loved. Maybe I'll do it again sometime.
Yeah, cool. Well, you've moved on to soda pops. What'd you pour for me here?
I poured for you a Jamaican ginger beer.
Jamaican ginger beer. I'm going in. Well, that is darn tasty. How did we get to here?
Well, so this has been a passion of mine for a long time. You know, I think I made my first craft soda, you know, just at home in about 2006. So it's been a little bit. However, you know, like the economics of actually starting a business and getting going on something like that, you know, it takes a little bit. So
but now this is your full-time gig.
This is my full-time gig, and you know, and then some. I'm spending, you know, probably about 60 hours a week doing this now.
Well, because you're putting me to work. I'm volunteering for Sean today. We showed a Sean. So how many different sodas do we have?
Right now I have 7 different flavors that I have available. So I've got a coffee cream soda, I've got a cream soda, orange cream, Jamaican ginger beer, ginger ale, a cherry lime, and a seasonal flavor right now is an apple pie. With that one, I use Niagara-grown apples. I pick them up at the farmer's market. They get pressed on a Tuesday. They get pressed on a Monday. On Tuesday, they get delivered to me at the farmer's market, and I pick them, turn it into soda today.
That's kind of the whole thing, though, right? Like keeping everything local, using local fruit, local ingredients, local sodas. The name is like Canalside.
Yeah, that is the whole inspiration of this. Using the local flavors, the fresh local flavors that we have, you know, and you know, turning them into fizzy, fun drinks.
What is the difference between one of these sodas and something that you would buy somewhere, mass-produced?
So the big difference, you know, is actually using real ingredients. You know, a lot of them use, well, the majority of soda companies are using, you know, artificial flavors and additives. The second big difference, I would say, would be the type of sugar that's used. I use a cane sugar, which you can see over here.
What's the cane sugar do?
What does the cane sugar do?
Yeah, like is it different just than a regular sugar?
Well, yeah. So no, cane sugar is the sugar that you would normally use at home.
Oh, it is. Okay.
You know, however, it's different than the type of sugar that's typically used in a soda pop, which is a high fructose corn syrup. You know, and so it is very highly refined. Cane sugar, you know, they take the whole sugar cane, they squeeze the water out of it, and then they, you know, let the water evaporate, and you're left behind the granulars that you're used to seeing.
What are we doing here? We're squeezing limes.
We're squeezing limes.
Get to work.
Yeah,
so this is for the Jamaican.
So this
ginger
lime
beer?
is going to go into the Jamaican ginger beer.
Okay, so we'll continue to squeeze those. We're going to show off a few of his secrets on how he's making his Canalside sodas. And you're at the St. Catharines Farmers Market on Tuesdays, Thursdays today, and
Saturdays. That's right.
And Saturdays. So make sure you go and check them out and give them a test, as we're going to be doing today. Here with Canalside Soda on Morning Live. So we've tried the ginger beer with Canalside Soda. Now on to the tart cherry lime. Back with Sean Polden. Okay, tell us about this one.
All right, this is one that I've been struggling the most with the flavor, but it's just finally coming out exactly where I want it to be. This is my tart cherry lime. So I use 100% Niagara cherries in that from Cherry Lane in Vineland.
Amazing.
You got some vanilla in there.
Yeah, There's a lot of flavors going. I'm trying to identify them all.
It's a pretty complex one for sure.
So anyway, so this is how you're selling them, though.
Yeah,
you sell them in these little.
That's right. So at the farmers market, somebody comes to me and is looking to place an order. I fill one of these growlers right from the taps here at the farmers market. So it's like, same day fresh, right. And seal it up right away. One of these bottles is $7. That includes $2 for a glass deposit. I run an exchange program, right. Trying to eliminate waste.
Yeah, so you hang on to them and then bring it back, and then you'll fill up again.
That's right. That's right. People who are familiar with the local breweries are familiar with that type of system. Okay. Certainly.
We're going to kind of show you some of the secrets. So let's try and make some of this tart cherry lime. So what are the ingredients?
Yeah. So these are two of the principal ingredients: the tart cherry lime concentrate. So in this bottle, you've got about 4,000 cherries, the flavor of 4,000 cherries in this one little bottle, right? And then here are the whole cherries that I use, in order to flavor the syrup and just give it a little bit more.
So I'll just
what do you got boiling there? Yeah. So in here is a sugar syrup. So typically, what I'm doing when I'm preparing this product is I get the sugar syrup boiling. So it's nice and hot, and then I slowly add the cherries to it.
Why were you struggling with this one? What was it missing?
You know what? It was missing the tart cherry concentrate. It was missing that extra infusion of cherry.
That just wasn't enough cherry.
It just wasn't enough cherry.
It's kind of like tomato paste, I guess. This would be?
Yeah, it certainly would be. Certainly would be.
Did you put this in there too?
I'm going to wait until after it stops. So these cherries sit in here for about 45 minutes. It'll come back to a boil again, and those cherries will really candy. And at the same time, the sugar syrup will get infused with the flavor of the cherries.
These are the finished cherries.
And these are the finished cherries, and they look exactly like bar cherries, or candied cherries.
Right. Those are awesome.
One of the things I try to account for is the full life cycle of the fruit. So when I was preparing this, not wanting to waste the good quality fruit afterwards, I made sure that there was something for that the cherries could be used for afterwards.
Amazing. Okay. So let's take a break. We're on to the next one though. This one over here, this boiling hot pot of water is.
So this is the base for my coconut cream.
Okay. So we're adding some coffee.
So coffee cream.
Coffee cream. So why don't you add the coffee grinds in there? We'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll show kind of the inner workings of the coffee cream soda with Canalside Soda in St. Catharines. Morning Live. Okay. Showing off the coffee cream soda here at Canalside Soda. So last time you saw us with Sean Bolden, we were putting the coffee beans in. They've sat in there for
about 5 minutes or so. Yeah. Okay. So I do this in a French press style. So typically when you brew coffee in a French press style, you add the hot water, you add the coffee beans, you press it. You use the plunger in order to squeeze out separate the grinds from the water. So I'm doing it a little bit differently, just because I don't have a big plunger to go into my brew pot. So instead of quickly plunging it, what I do is I evacuate the water from it and separate the water from the beans as quickly as possible, so that the coffee stops brewing.
What are some of the other flavors in there?
So you'll find some vanilla in there. I use a coconut cream in it in order to lighten it and soften it a little bit. There is some, you'll notice hints of licorice, maybe a fair bit of licorice. One of the things about it is, because I use real coconut cream in it, you'll notice that there's a little bit of solids on the top. Doesn't really mean anything. It just means you're eating, drinking a real organic product.
Oh, okay. There's no carbonation to this one.
Usually there's a little bit. Usually there's a little bit.
Did you adjust the carbonation depending on what you're making?
Yes, I do. Yeah. So like the ginger beer has a little bit more of a carbonation. This one is meant to be like a borderline iced coffee. With just a little bit of fizz.
Yeah, I'm not a coffee drinker. I'm not. I don't really like coffee. I don't mind that though.
All right.
Yeah, right? Because it is kind of, there is a lot of complexity to it. Because you're tasting a lot of the vanilla and then the beans and a few other things in there too.
Yeah. The coffee, the tonka beans. The tonka beans add a really unique, different flavor.
I've never heard of the tonka beans.
So they're a South American. It's the seed of a fruit. Very hard to get. Not usually used in the food industry, but it's something a little different.
Okay, so you're at the farmers market today. You're there Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
You got this. This is your setup.
This is my setup.
So anybody can come and get a taste test, see what it tastes like, and then
that's right.
Take one of these growlers home with them.
That's right. Or they can also go to Lock Street Brewery and
If you're at the St. Catharines Market and you see Sean huddled behind his little spot here doing this, wondering what the heck he's doing, Sean, what the heck are you doing?
I'm adding carbonation to it.
This is how you do it.
This is how you do it. So there's a couple ways of doing it. This is called the rapid infusion of carbon dioxide. So as I'm doing this, little bubbles of carbon dioxide are going from the carbon dioxide down the tube that normally sucks the liquid out from underneath, from the bottom of the keg, and is pushing those bubbles of carbon dioxide up through the liquid. In order to, and as those bubbles pass through the water, the carbon dioxide gets absorbed into the liquids.
How long do you have to do for?
For every keg, about 30 minutes.
Really?
So that's why I use some of the slow time at the farmers market in order to take advantage of doing that.
To be doing that. Okay. Well, we've been having a cool morning here at Com's kind of kitchen culinary spot, which is where you do all your work, which is important, and we'll give them a shout out at the end. But let's get into some cocktails.
Yeah.
Because what were you saying? They're
banging.
The kids are saying. What's this one that we're going to do first?
All right.
Okay?
So the first one we're going to do is a foghorn. So this is a drink that was made popular by the Waldorf Astoria in the I don't know, I guess it was around the mid-century.
Okay.
So for this one here, I use Dylan's gin. I add a little bit of that in there.
Okay.
I use some of Dylan's lime bitters,
Okay,
just to give a couple splashes. That works.
Okay.
And then the Jamaican ginger beer.
The Jamaican, right here. Got this. Just pour that right in.
And a little bit of lime juice. Just
little lime.
Some of that lime juice that we squeezed before.
Nice.
And then we're going to garnish that with a lime here.
Okay, I'll give this a try because we got one more too. And this is something we haven't tried yet because we tried the ginger beer earlier on, which I really, really like. That's a banging cocktail right there.
Banging.
Banging. Okay, what are you doing here?
So the next is the apple pie. So this one here, Niagara-grown apples, a little bit of bourbon, and some of the apple pie soda.
Apple pie soda?
Yeah.
Where are you coming up with apple pie? Was it like a request from somebody? You just
Who doesn't like apple pie?
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Who doesn't like apple pie?
Why not make that into a soda?
So this is one of my seasonal flavors.
Okay.
Apples are only going to be available until about May, June or so. And then I won't have this anymore, and I'll replace that with a peach soda. Add some of that. A little bit of apple in there.
Does the cider go anywhere? Did you add cider?
The cider is
the cider is in here. That is in here.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm a slow learner. Takes me a little bit to get there. Well, once I get there, I'm having some banging cocktails. That's
There you go.
How important is comms here?
Oh, so the Commie Culinary Workspace is absolutely essential to food entrepreneurialism in the area.
Right.
It allows me an opportunity to scale up my business without having to invest in the huge infrastructure that a commercial kitchen is, in order to find out, are these flavors popular?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Fantastic. Cheers to comms. Here's the thing. You're going to be at Farmers Market today. You're there Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
That's right.
Selling these growlers.
That's it.
Okay. But you can go online too?
Yeah. So my product tends to sell out.
Okay.
I would highly recommend pre-ordering online for pickup either this Saturday or the following Saturday. For Morning Live viewers, I'm offering a special discount code, 20% off any online orders. Use Morning Live as the code.
Cool. What's the website?
Canalsidesoda.ca.
Cheers to that. Cheers, buddy. Thanks for having us, man.
Bang it.
Delicious.